Do you like mysteries? To wander through the enigmatic mist of the inexplicable? Great. I'm Murk, and here you'll find what you're looking for. Welcome to my domains. The truth dissolves into the mist.
There are books that explain the world, and there are books that refuse to be explained. Hidden in the dim archives of history lies a volume that defies every human attempt to decode it. Its pages are filled with unknown symbols, drawings of impossible plants, and women bathing in emerald liquids beneath strange celestial charts. It is called the Voynich Manuscript, and for more than 6 centuries it has whispered a challenge to the minds of linguists, cryptographers, and dreamers alike. The story begins in the early 15th century. Carbon dating of the vellum suggests it was created around the year 1404, a time when Europe was still wrapped in medieval superstition and alchemy was considered a science. No author's name, no title, no clear origin, just an indecipherable language, written with an elegance that suggests purpose. Every curve of ink seems deliberate, yet meaningless. It resurfaced centuries later, in 1912, when an antique book dealer named Wilfred Voynich purchased it from the Jesuit College of Villa Mondragon in Italy, Quinty, when he first opened its pages. He believed he had found a forgotten work of genius, maybe even a lost alchemical manual from the Renaissance. But the deeper he looked, the less sense it made. The script, known today as Voynich's, follows no known linguistic structure. It doesn't match Latin, Greek, Hebrew, or any other language catalogued by humankind. Words repeat in strange frequencies, some longer than any real word, others made of repeating symbols that seem to dance rather than speak. Voynich, convinced of its importance, spent the rest of his life trying to decode it. He contacted scholars, historians, and even cryptographers who had cracked secret codes during wartime. No one succeeded. The book resisted every attempt, as if protecting something beyond language itself. Inside, the illustrations are equally haunting. Botanical drawings depict plants that do not exist on Earth. Their roots twist like veins. Their leaves form impossible geometries, and their flowers seem to bloom under alien stars. Astronomical pages show zodiac signs intertwined with naked figures submerged in green-blue pools, connected by streams that look like veins or energy lines. Some pages resemble medical diagrams, others are filled with circular texts, spirals, and elaborate patterns that suggest an intentional system, perhaps a code of creation itself. As the centuries passed, the manuscript became an obsession. During World War II, Allied cryptographers attempted to decipher it, hoping it contained secret intelligence or ancient formulas. Even the American NSA, decades later, ran computer analyses on its structure, only to admit defeat. The text was consistent, like a real language, yet belonged to none. Linguists noted that the symbols follow something called Zipf's law, the same statistical pattern found in all human languages. But that only deepened the mystery, proving it behaves like a language without being one. Theories multiplied. Some said it was written by an alchemist who wanted to hide forbidden knowledge. Others claimed it was a coded medical text, or a compendium of lost herbal lore. The more radical voices whispered that it wasn't written by human hands at all. One theory places its origin in Prague, within the court of Emperor Rudolf II, a ruler fascinated by the occult and by the idea of universal knowledge. Rudolf was said to have purchased the book for 600 ducats, a fortune, believing it was the work of Roger Bacon, the English monk and early scientist. But even that connection remains uncertain. The book changed hands many times. From Voynich, it passed to his wife, then to various scholars. until it eventually found its way into the Beinecke Rare Book Library at Yale University, where it remains today, sealed in a climate-controlled case. But even under glass, its words breathe. People who have seen it describe a strange sense of familiarity, as if the symbols were whispering to some forgotten part of the mind. Some researchers spent decades on a single page, convinced that understanding it would unlock something ancient, buried in human consciousness itself. And yet, after hundreds of years, we still don't know who wrote it, what language it uses, or what message it holds. The Voynich Manuscript stands as a mirror, one that reflects not truth, but our own obsession with the unknown. Some say it was never meant to be read, that it was written for something or someone that isn't us. Still, in the modern age, where artificial intelligence can generate entire languages and machines can decode ancient texts, the Voynich Manuscript still laughs in silence. Even algorithms designed to break ciphers used by the world, as most powerful governments have failed to extract a single coherent word. Some linguists believe it is a hoax, a medieval prank created to fool kings and scholars, a product of artistic deception meant to seem profound. But this theory weakens under scrutiny. Every letter, every curve, is written with the same pressure, the same precision, as if the author truly understood what they were writing. A forger would have to invent an entire linguistic system consistent across 240 pages, an impossible feat for any century. Other researchers have tried to identify a hidden structure through frequency analysis, comparing patterns with existing languages. Results show grammatical rhythm, sentence-like structures, and even a consistent syntax, suggesting it was indeed meant to be read just not by human eyes. The illustrations offer more than decoration. They feel like part of a code. Plants with anatomies resembling human organs, stars positioned in non-earthly configurations, female figures immersed in strange fluids connected by flowing tubes. These details make some believe the book hides a biological or cosmic secret, a bridge between the body and the universe. A few researchers, deep in obsession, claim the Voynich Manuscript describes another dimension. They suggest the plants are symbolic representations of life forms that exist in a different spectrum of reality. The green baths, they say, are portals of purification, and the astronomical pages serve as maps for those who wish to cross. Psychologists studying the reactions of people exposed to the manuscript found a recurring pattern: discomfort, fascination, and unease. Viewers report dreams filled with floating symbols, spinning spirals, and voices whispering words they cannot recall upon waking. It's as if the book operates on the unconscious level, communicating beneath the language barrier itself. But not all theories reach beyond reason. Some believe it could be a lost scientific codex, an attempt by an early herbalist to record discoveries using a private cipher. Yet, even if true, that cipher remains unbreakable. In 2018, a group of artificial intelligence researchers from the University of Alberta attempted to train an algorithm to match the Voynich text with known languages. After thousands of iterations, the AI proposed something shocking. It might be written in an encoded form of Hebrew, but when the team tried to translate even one sentence, the result was meaningless, like static, forming words that dissolve upon contact. Some claim the Voynich Manuscript is a message from the past meant for the future, written in a system we have yet to invent. Others whisper that it's not from Earth at all. The writing, they say, resembles no human calligraphy. Its curves mimic natural growth, like vines or neural networks, living structures, rather than written ones. Even stranger are the parallels found in folklore. Across Europe and Asia, there are legends of books said to drive readers insane, grimoires that rewrite themselves, or manuscripts that sing to those who dare to listen. Could the Voynich be one of them? Imagine a book that encodes not words, but frequencies, a silent resonance captured in ink. When read aloud, perhaps it wasn't meant to be understood, but activated. A forgotten experiment. A portal disguised as a puzzle. A seed planted in history, waiting for the right mind to bloom it open. No one has managed to read it. Yet the manuscript continues to pull people in, generation after generation. Scholars, soldiers, cryptographers, all drawn like moths to a flame that offers no warmth, only the promise of revelation. Today, inside Yale's Beinecke Library, it rests under layers of glass, its pages perfectly preserved. But there are those who say copies of its hidden reproductions have been circulating quietly online. They claim that printing or studying those copies too long invites strange coincidences, electronic devices failing, strange dreams repeating, whispers from nowhere. Maybe the Voynich Manuscript was never meant to be solved. Because solving it would mean confronting something ancient, something that has been speaking to us all along in a language older than time, a language that doesn't use words, but symbols of creation itself. You can look at it, but you can't understand it. You can study it, but it studies you back. The Voynich Manuscript remains, as it always has been, a silent enigma that waits, patiently, for someone who dares to read what should not be read, because some mysteries are not written to be solved. They are written to be remembered.
Did you like this mystery? And what is your theory? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, then like and share. I'm Murk, and I'll be waiting for you in the next mystery.